Hello, everybody. My guest today is Brent Brookler. He's a product-focused entrepreneur with deep domain expertise in mobile apps and mobile ecosystem and bringing innovative products to market. After years of building and managing some of the biggest branded apps on mobile, Brookler is now focused on innovating sales enablement through presentation and kiosk software. The company is called Flowvella.com. Brent, you ready to take us to the top?
Sure.
All right. Tell us about Flovella. What's the company do and what's your revenue model?
We build a presentation and kiosk software. We first built it for the iPad. After building apps for big brands like CBS, we actually built 60 Minutes. We wanted to build a system to allow anyone to create their own kind of interactive, multimedia-driven presentations using the iPad was the first. And so it's a SaaS model. It's all subscription-based. We have some trial periods. And then we've found it kind of focused on really in-home sales, so people who sell to people that way, they need the iPad. It also works 100% offline, and you have these videos and you have these presentations that really go to the next level.
Okay, why do you beat like a keynote?
Well, on the kiosk side, which has been a growing part of our business, they don't allow this. So when I say kiosk, you can turn any iPad at a store or an event or a trade show. You make it a secure thing, so that way someone can't go into they can view and play with the presentation, but they can't go in and edit it and then mess it all up. And that's what teenagers do whenever you place these things in a trade show.
Oh, I see. So if someone used Keynote on all these things and someone touched it or something and exited out of the Keynote app, they could be browsing the internet or in your email before you know it.
Yep. Or go into the presentation and just.
Is that it? Is that the mousetrap? I figure Keynote would have some button to make solve that.
They actually don't. And then the other way we're different than Keynote is we really focused on like multimedia and offline, and so you're able to embed these videos and make it a true interactive experience. And you also can embed PDFs, which no other presentation allows you to do, which is a pretty amazing thing. Some people have, especially salespeople, have these one-page call sheets, and you can actually email that PDF without leaving the application. Right from in the middle of a presentation.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. What are people paying on average per month or per year for this?
It's $20 a month, $200 a year for the pro. We have a premium, but we've really focused. We continue to go kind of like up market and really help salespeople help sell.
Yep. And when did you launch it? What year?
It's been out for 5 years actually.
So is that 2014?
Yeah,
That's
actually
great.
2013, six years. It's been a slow ramp, and now it's doing quite well.
Well, how many customers have you scaled to?
Paying customers are like 12 or 1,300, although the numbers kind of change because the way we've done the pricing on the kiosk side, it could be one customer, but we restrict it to one iPad per user, but then they have to buy additional devices. So it may look like one customer, but they could be spending a lot more because they have multiple devices.
Well, yeah. So let's go away from the per device cost of $20 a device and go to the customer level. So on average, what is a customer paying per month?
Yeah, that $20 a month, $200 a year. It could average up. We also have some older plans that are a little bit less. So that's like our main plan.
Okay. So generally speaking, people are paying for one device.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And it costs $1,200. I mean, so I can take 1,200 times 20. There's 24 grand a month.
About, yeah.
Okay. And a year ago, where was the company?
We've been growing about 30% a year consistently for the last 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so that would put you at like $18,000 or $19,000 a month about a year ago?
About a year ago, we did like 180 grand in 18.
Well, yeah, that's over the total year though. But if we just take a snapshot of the month, right, to compare this month to a month 12 months ago, it was about 18,000 a month?
Yeah, maybe a little bit less, maybe 16
okay.
years.
All right, yeah, fair enough. That's great. Now, where's most of the growth come from? How are you getting these customers?
It's almost all organic and referral. So it's we have a decent relationship with Apple. They feature us every once in a while. People find us, search engines, and we do some advertising, a little bit of Apple search ads, but that's where we could probably do better.
When you're doing Apple search ads, I mean, what's it costing you fully weighted to get a new $20 a month customer?
On average, we have a trial, right? So we've calculated cost. We get about $18 of a successful person who comes in if they do the trial, because some drop off, some don't.
How many trials do you need to get a new paying customer?
The trial rate is pretty good. Maybe it's like 35%, but how long they stay after that is something that.
Well, let's talk about that in a second. So you need essentially 30% conversion from trial to paid. You need 3 trials to get a new paying customer. If you pay Apple when you do spend on ads $18 for a good trial, that comes out to essentially a $54 customer acquisition cost for a customer paying $20 a month. Now, what you're alluding to, I believe, is churn, right? It can be tricky. So how bad is it? How high is your churn right now?
I think it's on average like 3 or 4 months per user, but some stay on for a really long time, and some stay for a short time.
Okay, so 3 or 4 months per user. I mean, so do you know what the percentage churn is?
Meaning?
Like if 100 people are using it last month, it goes down to 80 this month, which would mean 20% churn.
No, it's like 3%, maybe less.
Okay, so if you have 3% churn per month, right, times 12, that's 36% churn annually. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, but that also seems a little high.
Okay, well, if you have 36% churn annually, right, and you do 1 divided by that, that would mean lifetime value is 3 months, not 4 months, like you just said.
You actually cut out for a second, but
that's okay. I was just saying, if your churn is 36% annually, and you do 1 divided by churn to get your monthly lifetime value, right? That means that a customer stays on average for 33 months, but you just told me they stay on average for 3 to 4 months.
This is not the best part about my business. I'm
just trying to understand, is your churn high or low? 36% annually is not bad. Okay.
Yeah.
If you think each customer pays you total on average 4 months at $20 a pop, right? So $80 total, is that what it is?
Yeah, except that if they come in through Apple, Apple gets 30%. So that's a little challenge there.
Yeah, so it's even worse.
Yeah, but if they come in through our website, it's standard credit card kind of charges. So we collect a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, I mean, what you're actually looking at is, I mean, you're churning between 10 and 20% of your customer base monthly, and that's what would give them about a 4-month lifetime value.
Yeah, I don't think we're churning our whole customer base 10% a month.
Okay, you understand how the math works, though, right? I mean, if you have a 4-month lifetime value, you have to be churning that much.
Okay, then they're lasting a lot longer than that.
Okay. Then it would. I guess I'm confused. And why did you say 3 to 4 months is what they'd spend?
That might have been our analysis off like maybe trial users came in at that 3 to 4 months. It could have been when I did this initial analysis was a snapshot, and I haven't updated the analysis from like the different cohorts, so that's where it could be off. But we're definitely not losing 10 to 20% of our user base a month.
Okay, so you think it's more like 3% or 4%?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, by the way, I hope so. That would mean your economics are way better, right? That means that a customer is going to stick with you on average for, call it, 30 months, right? Instead of 300 months, right? So I mean, the math gets bad when you start extrapolating like this, but it's not 30 months, it's 26 months. But the point I'm trying to get at is the Apple ad spend an effective ad spend for you? Could you pour $1 million into that and get an X amount of new customers?
It's been challenging because we've kind of played with the numbers. We're not putting that much into it, but actually I have 2 brands, like I mentioned, Flovella and Flow Kiosk. Flow Kiosk is converting higher, and I'm spending a bit more.
Yeah, but you said Flovella is the bigger business right now at $24,000 a month.
Yeah, well, I mean, I actually group them together because they're very similar. It's a second brand that does almost the same thing. That makes sense.
Why do that? Why would you split 2 things that do the same thing?
It's been working for us. The reason why we did it is because kiosk is a specific use case. It's basically we're in essentially two niches.
You're like white labeling your own software.
Kind of, yeah. Except they're about 95% the same. The kiosk really forces the user to go into this kiosk mode. It makes it really convenient for them to go into this kiosk mode. Where Flovella, you can do that, but it doesn't force you into that.
Got it. Okay, cool. And flesh out your team for me. Is it just you, or what's your team look like?
It's me and a few of a one half salesperson, and on the product side, I've got a couple part-time people, but I've actually been doing a lot of development myself.
So what would you say kind of total equivalent full-time salaries you're paying? 3?
2.
Two-ish. Okay, great. Now it sounds like you've bootstrapped this. Is that right? Or have you raised capital?
Well, I've raised capital. This company's been around for a while. We actually had a big team built this originally, relatively big, like 12 or 13 people. We, like when I was saying before in the beginning how we built all these apps before, we had a agency, pseudo agency type business, and then we built this, and the team got smaller and smaller because I really couldn't keep that whole team together. But now this is going up this way. Now we're looking to see how we can go to the next level. And
so how much total have you raised?
This is like the most complex, crazy story, but we'll just say I raised $2 million.
Okay. I mean, don't get into too much detail, but like either you fundraised or you haven't fundraised. Why? I assume, I know there's changes in the business and you probably bought some investors out or whatever, but why is it complex?
Because the company's been around before. Then we had like investors in in 07, 08. And then they took themselves out, then it went back into common. And so then it's kind of like a restart of sort in the cap. And so then now we have like $2 million in notes. Does that make sense?
I think that's fine. I think that happens all the time. So the agency was around since 2007. You launched the SaaS company in 2013.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And anyone that's put in any money is still in some form on the cap table.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do not believe in wiping. I don't believe in wiping people out at all. I think that's
I think it's good. I mean, look, we also have to call a spade, right? You've raised $2 million and the company is still doing 24 grand a month, right? So I mean, it's going to require like a lot of you not spending a lot. I mean, I assume you've spent all that already, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that was like ages ago. So is the company cash flow positive today? Or are you still burning?
Yes. No.
Oh, that's a good thing. So how do you go from 1,200 customers up to 5,000 customers?
That's why I'm talking to you.
Yeah, but I don't have the answer. You got to give me 30% of the company to figure that out.
Well, I mean, we also work. One of the ways we've been successful is going into one company and then they branch out. Like one company not going customer. What's that?
Name one.
Like Clopay is one of our customers that are the largest garage door manufacturer in the country. So they at first they built this for a trade show, and then now they're making our system available to all their dealers. They have 400 dealers. So it's dealers and franchises and resellers is a route that we've been going after.
Are there any other things you upsell against? It seems like a cheap price point for the value you're giving. Why not price it also against? There's a $20 a month flat fee, and then there's also a number of times the presentation was viewed per month, and there's a quantity based upsell. Once you pass 100 views per month, it goes up to $100 a month.
It's a decent idea. Haven't really considered that.
Can you track that?
Yeah.
Boom, baby. Wait, so right now monthly, how many presentation views are you doing across all 1,200 customers?
I don't know that, but I can
dozens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions?
Probably in between tens and hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, interesting. All right, very cool. Let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Never Split the Difference.
Number 2, is there a CEO that you're following or studying?
Is there a CEO that I follow or study? Not really, although I track a few people.
Name one.
Marco Arment. I like him.
And what's he running?
He builds Overcast, the podcasting app.
Yep. Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building your company?
Xcode.
EX?
Xcode. It's the programming tool for building apps.
EX or just X?
It's just Xcode.
Right. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
In between 6 and 8.
And what's your situation? Married, single, kiddos?
Kids.
Okay, how many kiddos?
2.
All right, and how old are you?
I'm 50.
Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Say again?
Brent, what do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
How to code.
Guys, Flowvella.com, helping folks at trade shows do better kiosk presentations via their presentation tool software, serving 1,200 customers, paying $20 a month, so $24,000 a month right now in revenue. Founded in 2013, they raised $2 million because there's a long story there, but there was an agency beforehand. But now, cash flow positive, team of two, churning about 48% of their customers annually for 52% net revenue retention as they look to scale, spending $54 in the Apple App Store to get a new customer for a 3-month payback period. Brent, thank you so much for taking us to the top.
Thank you so much.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it, and the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.